Intellectual property rights have been the subject of heated debates worldwide. On one side of the argument, proponents argue that these rights are essential to incentivize innovation and creativity. They believe that without legal protection, there would be little motivation for individuals and companies to invest time, effort, and resources in the development of new ideas, inventions, and artistic creations. This viewpoint sees intellectual property rights as a necessary mechanism to encourage progress and reward innovation. However, critics of intellectual property rights raise valid concerns. They argue that such rights can stifle innovation and restrict access to knowledge and culture. Critics contend that granting exclusive rights to creators and inventors may lead to monopolies, limiting the dissemination of ideas and impeding further advancements. They advocate for a more open and collaborative approach, where ideas are freely shared and built upon by others, fostering a culture of collective creativity. One of the main arguments in favor of intellectual property rights is the notion of fair compensation. Proponents assert that creators deserve to profit from their hard work and originality, and that without the protection of these rights, their efforts would be undervalued. Intellectual property rights, they argue, ensure that artists, inventors, and innovators have the opportunity to earn a living from their creations, which in turn drives economic growth and cultural development. However, critics point out that intellectual property rights often disproportionately benefit wealthy corporations while hindering the smaller players in society. They argue that these rights can lead to the consolidation of power and wealth in the hands of a few, creating barriers to entry for emerging artists, inventors, entrepreneurs. Critics propose alternative models that promote a more equitable distribution of wealth and opportunity, allowing a wider range of individuals to thrive and contribute to society. Another contentious aspect of intellectual property rights is their impact on access to essential resources, such as medicines, educational materials, and technology. Critics argue that strict patent laws can hinder access to life-saving treatments and impede the dissemination of knowledge in developing countries. They highlight the potential for intellectual property rights to perpetuate global inequalities and limit progress in addressing pressing social issues. However, proponents of intellectual property rights assert that without legal protection, there would be little incentive for pharmaceutical companies and prestigious institutions to invest in the costly and time-consuming process of developing new drugs and treatments. They argue that intellectual property rights are crucial for fostering innovation in the healthcare sector and ensuring that patients have access to safe and effective care of peoples. The debate on intellectual property rights encompasses a wide range of industries and creative fields, each with its own unique considerations. From music and film to software and patents, the issue of how to balance the granting of exclusive rights with the promotion of progress and access is a complex, multifaceted challenge. In conclusion, the debate surrounding intellectual property rights is far from settled. Both proponents and critics bring valid arguments to the table, highlighting the complexities and nuances of this contentious issue. While intellectual property rights may incentivize innovation and ensure fair compensation for creators, they also have the potential to stifle progress, restrict access, and perpetuate inequalities. Striking a balance between protecting intellectual property and fostering collaboration and innovation remains a significant challenge for society in the digital age.